Hello guys, this is the second part of our tutorial about creating watch application on Garmin device and about working with you. So today we will display our custom content on our view, which will allow us to proceed on our application. Okay, so let's go one by one file in our solution. This is a project that we have created in our first lesson, and yeah, I've just renamed that. And let's go one by one file what our extension created for us. Okay, here let's minimize all of those and let's go one by one. Okay, manifest. This is manifest for our application. Actually, generally we are not editing this file manually, and we are editing in only we are running some command key C commands. For example, let's select command shift P, and here we, for example, have edit products, which allows us set products that we are going to support. Let's, for example, select my Forerunner, let's say, okay, and you can see that has updated our manifest XML. So generally we will not edit this manually. It contains like all summaries about our application, such as what products do we support, what permissions our application required. This will be displayed to user when they will install our application, and also languages that we support. Now let's go to resources folder. It contains our drawable. This is like our some views contents parts, something like this. For example, for this one here is one drawable which contains bitmap object, which contains launcher icon, and we can see like launcher icon here. This icon will be displayed in application list for when we open applications list in our watch. There will be displayed name and this icon. This is like our custom content, but actually I propose if you have some images, I would propose you to create separate folder, for example, images, and store those there. Next one is layouts. Here we will have our layouts if we have like multiple in our watch when we, for example, move down or up to display different screens, for example. For now, this one contains one layout. Let me maybe run our application just to display what it is. Let's run without debugging. Oh, sorry. As I mentioned in previous lesson, we need to run our application under MC file. Okay, here we see like this is our main layout that is displayed initially when we open an app, and here we have this strings.prompt, which is also under our resources. For example, here we see like our app name, prompt, labels. So we keep all strings in one place, and it's also good if we will support multiple languages. We will just use the same ID but different value. So let's go back. Here we display just color, justification. So it should be on center. And here we see like we used from drawables my monkey PNG, our image. But as I've mentioned, it would be good to store images in separate folder. So let's create, So let's create new folder under resources, for example, images. And let's move monkey PNG under images. Let's move, okay, and now it will be already under images. And let's save. Okay, and let's run our app just to verify it works fine. Okay, it has built successfully, and you can see now that it works well. Okay, here we have also our menu layout. This is like the similar layout, but it's under different folder stored for better readability. And also, as I mentioned, here we have some string resources. Now let's go to our MC files, like the most interesting part of our application. By default, we have our like app file. This is like an initial entry point to our application, and everything starts here. What we do here, this is like we return initial view in our entry point, which it's new view and new view delegate. You can see both of those. Actually, each view will consist of two parts. This is like the one file is view file, for example, that is responsible for displaying layout on our screen, and the second part would be our delegate file, which actually contains all our business logic, I'd say, and also it handles all actions, all buttons that we click. So in this case, we can see that we just set it to main layout. This is just base actions that are generated automatically, and also, for example, in this on main view, when we click menu, on menu we can see action. It will push new view with shower tutorial menu delegate. So you can open our menu delegate that was created, and you can see like that we have two items which will just console items when we click. Let's try this. For example, when we click here, we can see item 1 and item 2 that are under menu XML. You can see like menu label 1, menu label 2, and you can see those here, item 1 and item 2. So let's go back, and also once we click on item, it will be displayed. So let's go to debug console and let's, for example, select on item 2. Yep, we can see item 2 was selected. So that's what was generated automatically by our application. Now let's clean up a little bit our solution, because we are not going to need all of those items. For example, menu we are going to implement on our next part. So let's for now just delete our menu, move to trash. Let's go to our review. Okay, here everything is fine. On menu, for now we are not going to handle this, so we will just remove that part here. And now let's go to strings. Since we have removed our menu, we are not going to support this. And also let's go next. For example, menus. For now we don't need this XML because we have just removed that. Move to trash. And now let's also update our main layout. So here now let's use this one. Okay. So here is our layout or our contrast shower application. So it has already, we are not going to use here text, but actually you can use like the same way that it's used here, but we are going to set this text from code behind because it's going to be dynamic based on our business logic. So we have removed that. So now actually we already don't need monkey PNG. So let's move to trash. And also we already don't need this string because we have just removed those. So let's save all our files and let's run our application. So as you can see, we have updated created view to the new one. Also, we will set up some colors. So what we have updated, we have added 3 labels. You can see like first one is displayed of water type, second one of the timer, and the third one for the cycles count. This is exactly the same for each of labels. So let's go one by one. We set the ID, so we would be able to reach out to our label from the code behind to set it, update the text, update the color, update everything with the visibility or something else. Here we set the default text, we set the X positions, also we set Y position. Here we can use either % value, either in pixels or any others that are described in the documentation. We use here like percentage value, so we set it 20% from the top. Next one label would be exactly in the center, and the last one would be 70% from the top. And then we set the font, so one is larger and one is smaller, and we set justification of the text. That's the end of the second lesson. In the next one, we will talk about updating the view from the code behind to make our application dynamic and responsive and thanks for watching.